Alrighty, folks, let's talk about natural resources. Now, natural resources are found all over the world. So really, anywhere you go is going to have some form of natural resource. Now, that natural resource could be valuable or not valuable, but it is going to be pretty much anywhere you go. Some locations do have a lot more natural resources, which is going to allow them, these countries, to become a lot more powerful economically, which then becomes usually military power as well. But it's important to understand that there are natural resources all over the world. Also, in order for something to be natural and considered a natural resource, it must be provided by Earth and not made by man. For example, a country could produce a whole bunch of cell phones. Now, if they're producing a whole bunch of cell phones, those are made by man, they're not going to be a natural resource. However, the metals that go inside of them, those metals would be considered a natural resource. Now, some examples of natural resource could be gases. Okay, you can see right here, this could be everything from crude oil to natural gas. Sulfur could be considered a gas if you would be using sulfur for anything. Anything that is coming out of the ground in a gaseous, whatever the word is, state. Okay, metals or ore is another way you can hear this called. Ore just refers to unrefined metals. So copper, zinc, lead, uranium, palladium, molybdenum, all these different types of metals that are coming out of the earth. Gold, okay, would be considered an example of a natural resource. Okay, plants are also considered a natural resource. Plants can be used for a number of different things, from fuel sources. You could have lumber to build stuff out of, or for food. Okay, corn is considered a plant. You eat a lot of corn, or you could eat a lot of corn. That would be considered a natural resource. Okay, animals are considered a natural resource because they come from the planet. Okay, so chickens are considered a natural resource. Even though they are provided largely by human consumption or production. You don't really have wild chickens running around for the most part. You do in some places. However, these are going to be considered natural resources as well. And then sunlight, okay? The sun coming up and shining down upon us all could be considered a natural resource because it is used for sources of energy. Now, if we look at this map right here, this is a map from the CIA World Factbook, simply looking at the major export of countries around the world. So a couple things I want to point out right through here, and if you're kind of looking at these, K, you can look, for example, K, United States and China are the two countries, I guess not the two countries, but some of the two largest countries that are in green. They do have the largest two largest economies on Earth. Okay, so you can see that right through there. You see precious stones coming out. Okay, if you notice in the southern portion of Africa particularly, lots of diamonds and gold. You can see in the Middle East, okay, North Africa and then Russia and the Black Sea region, large quantities of oil, which is going to allow them to make a large amount of money. Okay, if you look, notice Europe is pretty much unified as the same. Different stuff right through there. Machinery and transportation. Okay, Greenland, Iceland, fishery. Same with Latvia. Different animals and stuff coming through there. East Africa, over by Somalia and Ethiopia, you see a lot of livestock as well. Soybeans down in Argentina, coffee from Madagascar. So kind of look at this map, look for some trends and stuff that you might see, maybe in geographic regions, why this is happening. Okay, again, if you look at Afghanistan, right there, opioids, primarily poppy, again, so you can see this coming out right through there, kind of looking at what that might kind of stay for the country. Okay, obviously, if your major source of exportation is something illegal, it's going to hurt your country. And we all know kind of the situation in Afghanistan today. So again, just look at this map, see what's going on right through here, different things that are talked about in here, look for trends, and we'll take it kind of from there. Now, getting rid of this, okay, looking at different categories of natural resources, there are three. There are renewable sources of energy. These are sources that can be used again and again and again and again, and they're not going to run out, okay? We're not going to run out of sunlight anytime soon. It's not going away. Sunlight goes away. Only way that'll happen is if Earth or the sun explodes, which we don't really have to worry about resources then, okay? And the wind. The wind is not going away. You cannot run out of wind, okay? It's always going to be present. It will not run away. Non-renewable is sources that are finite, which simply means they will run out. Okay, at some point, they will run out. They're good for now, but they're not going to last forever. Examples of these could be considered oil, okay, natural gas, coal as well. These things that are coming out of the ground for the most part that we have a certain amount of, but over time we are going to run out. They're not going to last forever. And lastly, our sustainable ones, which are resources that if we manage them properly, they're not going to run out. Okay, so for example, trees. If we cut every tree down on Earth, we're not going to have any more trees. We run out of trees. However, if we only take a certain amount of trees, allow other ones to grow and be proper with their management, they're going to stick around. Okay, another example of this would be animals. If you just kill all certain animals, you're going to run out of that as a resource. However, if you manage it and keep some alive, allow them to reproduce and grow and make new animals, you're not going to run out. Okay, so sustainable resources are ones that if people manage them properly, they will not run out. Okay. Lastly, we're going to look at this map right here of different types of natural resources and their uses. So kind of bookending here. Beginning, I talked about the different types of resources. Now we're going to talk about those sources and then what they're used for. Okay. Animals are a natural resource primarily used for food, also used for clothing. Okay, so for example, beef, you might eat beef. Okay, beef, cow skin is used for leather. You might see furs, okay, that are coming from different things. Ethics talked about a little bit within there, but food and clothing. Okay, snakeskin boots, alligator skin purse, whatever. Okay, plants largely used for food. So we're looking right through here. Okay, if you have fruits, considered a plant. Herbs, so like rosemary or basil, and then vegetables, carrots, squash, eggplants, all those different lovely things right through there. Oil, coal, and natural gas is used primarily for energy, largely in electricity, especially with coal. Okay, you burn coal, you can create electricity with that. Trees used largely for paper, okay, a major resource in virtually every country on Earth, and then wood used for buildings, also used in burning on certain occasions as well. Water is used for energy, also for drinking, because it's kind of one of those necessities in life. You need to have water. And lastly, different metals. Okay, metals are used in jewelry. Metals are used in electronics. Okay, you cannot have a phone without metals. Copper for wiring. Use metal to build. Okay, so you'll have like steel buildings, steel frames. In that, you will have jewelry, as I've said, okay, made of gold or silver, and you have certain metals that are needed in certain things. Okay, the chips that you use to run electronics, there's a certain type of metal that only comes from really a few mines, so it's super important and super crucial. All these different things coming together. These are different natural resources. You'll have a task on this. It's posted on ManageBack. We will discuss that later, and in class we'll review this. If you have questions or comments, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you later. Good luck.